This car is so close to being completely done on the road and driving. There are just a few parts left to get it there, but you know what they say. The last 10% of the build takes 90% of the time.
When I bought this car, it looked nothing like what you see now, not even close. It was a crashed Atlas Gray 997 Turbo with a beautiful terracotta interior. As far as I'm concerned, this is the absolute cheapest 997 Turbo manual that I have ever seen, ever. Getting the car to how you see it now is no easy task. I touched every single nut, bolt, clip, wiring harness, everything you can think of, and swapped it over to the clean chassis, sent it off for paint, got it running, and here we are. It's time for final assembly. I can't believe I'm saying those words, but I'm so excited to be saying them. Let's go. I wanted to final assemble the rear bumper, which if you saw in the last episode, I needed to finish up the wiring, wait for some JB weld to dry. I also have to remove the bumperettes, but first, let's finish up this wiring. I also wanted to final install the bumperette delete plate made out of carbon fiber, and that's just held on with the license plate bracket. You don't have to use double-sided tape, but I wanted to add some anyway, just to hold it in there a little more securely. And it's easy enough to do it now while it's just sitting here.
This light is obviously completely different than this one. That's because, well, this is LED and has the reverse camera, where this still has a stock halogen, so I want to pull that out and replace that with an LED bulb.
When it comes to these bumperettes, they're simply held on with 3 rivets each. The only issue is getting access to them. The top are pretty easy, but you want to be away from the body. The bottom ones, you have to get the heat shield out of the way, which makes it a little more difficult, but at the end of the day, it's not too hard. After I finished whacking, I could take a hammer and knock these things out of place. Now, if you pay close attention here, you'll see there's still something remaining on the bumper that probably should be removed before putting the bumper cover on. Not only that, it would be best if the wiring wasn't pinched behind the bumper as well.
What the f***? How does that even happen?
You'll see that thing I mentioned, the license plate, is still on the bumper beam while I'm putting the bumper cover on. Or at least trying to put the bumper cover on. This wasn't going to plan at all.
Got the bumper on and then I realized there's nowhere to mount it to up here. But the car came with this, the crash chassis, and this looks like to be the correct piece, so let's see if I can find the hardware, but I gotta take the bumper back off.
Now, one would think that I'd notice said license plate, maybe at this point.
Attempt number 3.
And even on my 3rd attempt, I still wasn't realizing that I was covering up the license plate that was bolted to the bumper.
Hey, that looks perfect. I still have to wire up the rear camera, but I still have the stock head unit, so that's not really worthwhile right now. I don't want to shut this the whole way because I don't have the battery hooked up. Can at least sort of get the idea here. Oh, one more thing. Oh no.
After everything was completely bolted up, I finally realized it.
Oh my god, I'm so dumb. I left my license plate attached to the freaking metal bumper. Oh, what an idiot. Kinda need to have a license plate. Holy crap. That was entirely too much work. And in the process, my 3M tape on here failed. I'm gonna leave that protective film on the carbon fiber until I get my actual license plate bracket. Not that I really need a bracket, but I think it'll be a little more finished of a look. I know I still need that lower trim piece for the rear bumper. I'm just deciding if I'm gonna get a new one, try to find a nice used one, or maybe even go carbon fiber if available, because really every option is expensive. JC Hutch exhaust looks phenomenal, and the exhaust cutouts in the bumper, it's all coming together.
With the rear end almost completely done, let's move on to some missing parts on the side of the car.
Now we can work on the final pieces of glass for the car, which are the rear quarter windows. These have been sitting outside since I removed them from the other chassis, or this chassis. I have 2 full sets of these. So I gotta clean these up and hopefully they go in smoothly without breaking them. I know it's a tight fit. They do just bolt in, but with all the seals in there, it's a tight fit. Look at me using glass cleaner on glass. Who is this guy? What did you do with Matt?
There was a pretty nasty film on the outside of this window, which I had to use a razor blade to get off, and I thought there was a film on the inside as well, but it turns out it was something else.
Is this one tinted? Yes, that certainly is tint. Please come off easily. Ah, boy, this is gonna be a whole thing. My God, I hate window tint. It seems like all my vehicles come with window tint that's like shoddy and falling apart, but these are all good now. Nice and clear. So let's try to install them without breaking them. I got the window tint off without breaking them. It's a solid start at least. That pretty much slid right in.
We've all been there before. You're stranded on the side of the road, you're stuck in a parking lot because your car won't start. Now, if you're lucky, some Joe Schmo will come up to you with some jumper cables, try to get them to work, and end up frying both of your electronics in both your cars. But I have a much better solution. This is the AstroAI S8 Ultra. It's a really, really powerful portable jump starter as well as a battery bank for really anything that you need. You can charge things. It has its own built-in flashlight, etc. This can start up to a 10-liter gas engine or an 8-liter diesel engine, which is insane. It's got 4,000 amps of peak current, 2,400 milliamp hours. It's a very powerful jump starter, and it's intelligent.
What's nice about these are they are super rugged. You can see like the rubber edges they have here. It's just to keep these safe in case you drop it. They will continue to work and do everything that you need them to do. This is something you should have in every vehicle you own without a question. You can plug in your standard 12 volt that you'd have in a car. That's a nice little feature. So you can charge any car accessories with this, but probably what you guys would use more often, and the same with me, is use this to charge your cell phone or other accessories.
Plus it's drop proof, dust proof, and IP65 waterproof. And I've got a link in the description box with a discount for you guys so you can get your own. And these jump packs make incredible gifts because almost everyone in your life has a car.
Big thanks to AstroAI for sponsoring another video. I've been using their jump starters for years. This is their most powerful one I've had yet. You should have one in your vehicle at all times. You won't regret it. Well, you will regret it when you need it and you don't have it. Oh, I think I've got to have these on first. Crap, that sucks. All right, back to square one. I thought it would make it easier not having these on, so I could slide it around, but it doesn't seem to be the case. There we go. Got absolutely no room anywhere. Oh, that was awful. That was a stupidly annoying amount of work. But the car is full of windows now. You can actually go outside. Well, once I get the computer back in it and hook the battery up. On to the next one. And I've still got some of the rear of the interior out because I need to get the ECU back and get it installed. And then we can tidy up everything back there while I'm sweaty and dirty. Whew.
Windows fully installed all around the car. Now, let's take care of these door jambs that are missing something.
Next part, please. What's great is now I have all this double-sided tape to peel off. I don't know if this is going to be better or worse than the window tint. That's much better. And it's sticking real nice. I just hope the light works. That's the only reason I'm going with these over like the carbon fiber Rennline ones, is because I already had these in. I think it's gonna be cool for that little turbo thing to light up. They're already wired in, so I don't really have to do anything.
The roof rail covers came next, which needed their seals installed, which is no easy task. The rubber gaskets are a really tight fit, and the more you put them on, the more they want to fall off. So if you get one side on, the other side wants to fall off. It's just a giant pain. I checked for fitment, all seemed good there, and if you're curious how these clip in, it's actually a pretty unique clip, one I've never seen before. It's basically a wedge that you sit in the rail, and as you cinch it together, it expands, it holds itself in place. Now I like to use channel locks just to make sure they're nice and secure, but then that little white plastic clip is on the cover, and it just snaps into place.
Excellent. Looks freaking mint. This car did come with side skirts. I was planning on getting new ones, but I didn't realize they were insanely expensive. Getting 2 new ones of these, like $1,000 bucks. So I'm gonna see what I can do about making these look, well, like new.
I know these look really rough, but I think I can make them look, well, at least less rough. I mean, it's going to look better than the car without any side skirts at all, because to be honest, it looks incomplete. Now, what I'm going to be using is something I've never used before. That is some trim restorer. This is from Turtle Wax. It seemed to have good reviews, and it's more of a dye rather than just some type of shine like you would put on a tire. It's supposed to last a long time, but first, I got to get these things cleaned up because they are covered in mud, debris, I'm assuming from the crash.
I've got those setting off in the sun to dry. Once they dry, we'll get them inside. Then I'll try that trim restorer. If they don't turn out good, well, it didn't cost me much to try it, and I'll just order new ones eventually, bite the bullet. I don't want the car to look like crap because of some plastic, old, beat up side skirts either. If you made it this far in the video, a big thumbs up would be much appreciated. Also, a comment and subscription mean a lot, and they're free. It's the best way to support me in this crazy little garage adventure that I have. And if for some reason you'd like to get some merch is available at boostedapexdesigns.com, like this 997 Side View t-shirt for 25 bucks. I'd much rather have YouTube pay me by showing more people my videos, but if you want to get a shirt, that's cool too. I profit about $5 per shirt. So if I sell about 25,000 t-shirts, I could buy a brand new GT3.
Now that the side skirts are dry, I found a couple spots that needed a little more scrubbing. I mean, that dirt was really embedded in there. Figured it's best to get it as clean as possible before applying the trim restorer. Speaking of the trim restorer, this stuff is black. You can see it is not just like a cream or a shine, it is literally dye. Once I realized how potent this stuff was, I figured it was best to put on a pair of gloves, because if you get this stuff on your hands, it's going to be on there for a while.
Now, I only did one coat. I gotta let that dry and then do a second, but you can see the difference between the two, hopefully on camera. It's definitely a nice improvement. And while these don't look brand new, they look pretty good and good enough to be shoved underneath the bottom of the car. This rag's certainly no good anymore.
That's 2 coats applied, not fully dry yet, but let me know what you guys think. It's certainly way better than what they looked like when we started. For reference, this is how they looked then. I'm pretty happy with that. Now let's get them on the car.
Can you guys believe, after all the free advertising I've done for Spray Away Glass Cleaner, I still had to buy my own? I actually reached out to them, and I know some subscribers have as well. They just never got back to me. I'll keep using it because it's good stuff and it's cheap. I even linked their stuff in the description box and everything. Unreal. I also got some sort of Downstar-ish looking hardware, and I'll show you what this is for in just a second. This carbon fiber delete plate is totally not going anywhere with this license plate on here. But the outsides, even with double-sided tape, were floppy. So I added rivets to both sides twice, and they've pulled out both times. I figured I would get some nice looking hardware to replace the rivets, and it'll still look good. This would have all been way easier to do with the bumper off the car. That's for certain. I like it. We get the full effect when the license plate bracket is on there and I peel all of the protective film off.
The rest of the goodies for this video came in to include hood struts. Yes, I finally got hood struts, along with a bunch of clips, screws, and most importantly, freshly tuned ECU from Marski Tuning.
Guys, it's not like I like using the broomstick. I just kept forgetting to order hood struts. That's the only reason I haven't done them until now. I'm missing 2 bolts, that's because they're at the painter. Now, I can chuck this as I don't need it anymore. Ah, much nicer. On to the next project. I couldn't finish the install of this side roof rail cover because I only had 2 of these clips. We were supposed to have like 4 or 5. Not only was I missing some of those, I was missing some of these clips that also go underneath. All right, that's done and looking outstanding. That is a really, really nicely done bumperette delete, at least in my opinion.
Okay, so I got the easy projects done. Let's move on to the harder ones.
I do have the side skirts to do with a whole bunch of new hardware for them. Before I do that, I want to get the newly tuned ECU from Marski Tuning, marskituning.com. I want to get this back in the car to finish up the interior before I become covered in dirt and sweat and all that good stuff. Time to crawl back in here again. What makes it even better this time around is there's even less ventilation because I have the rear windows in now. That's fun. Gonna need this. See what I mean about sweating? It is a hot box inside this thing. This is great. This is just wonderful. The amount of sweat that I've leaked into this vehicle. I'm gonna need to clean all the carpets again. Yeah, buddy.
The interior is 90% put together, so let's move on to those pesky side skirts.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I get an absolute boatload of these. I have like 10 times this amount of screws because they use these everywhere on these cars, which is pretty convenient. That looks really good, guys. I'm super pumped with that. I have that rear wheel off. I might take the front one off and do the fender liners. Not sure yet, because I might need to dig in there and get some more stuff done, but making progress.
The driver's side clips fought me the entire way. In fact, you can see my enthusiasm right here.
Bruh.
The door is shutting a little better, but it's still not 100%. Maybe once I lock it, it'll kind of hold it in place and maybe it'll get used to staying there. I know you guys say this should be one of the last pieces to go on, but I have it here. I got 2 brand new nuts for it, so I'm gonna put it on. Beautiful. I feel like there's no way all those go to the 997, right? Outrageous amount of inner fender well liners.
The side skirts turned out really, really nice. Let me know what you guys think. I think they look great being re-dyed, and I think they look good enough. Plus, they're at the bottom of the car. You can't really see underneath them where they are a little scratched up. Now, let's fill these empty fender wells with some plastic.
Problem number 1 is simply figuring out which mud flaps go where. This has an R on it. I don't even know if these are all for the 997, to be perfectly honest with you guys. Wow. First try, got it right. That will never happen again in my entire life. I don't mean to leave you guys on a cliffhanger. That was not my intention. My intention was to wrap this video up with the front bumper. However, it's not done yet. I could wait a couple days, but then this video will be pushed way back. So I just want to get this out there. Next video, front bumper will be installed. Thanks for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. We'll see you in the next one.